Here we are. Pretty. But other than the fabulous looks this place has, Chris has this great story, right, Chris?
Yeah. Why don't we just take a look at some of these foundations over here? Look at
Okay.
this. These are remnants of houses. If you look over here, there's some more of the colonial village of Pemaquid, which was started in 1605, I believe. And this place
Pretty cool.
was started as just simply a fishing village where they would catch cod out in the Atlantic Ocean, bring it in, and they do what they call flaking the cod. Yeah, you basically sun dry the cod out, lay it in the sun, and then it dries, and then they salt it and ship it back to England.
Oh, okay. Portuguese people do that.
Yeah, it's still done today. If you go to the supermarket, you can find salted fish. Just wash the salt out before you eat it.
I like salt.
They have over here, I don't know if you can see it too well, is an old fishing stage. It's a recreation of what they did have here. And they'd, if you can focus in there, that's where they'd actually dry the fish out in the sun.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
That it?
So that's Colonial Pemaquid. What's left of it.
Oh. Artifacts. Okay, Mr. Daly. What is this we're looking at?
This is the type of house you'd see at Pemaquid here. Also, I think when we were in Portland, I mentioned wattle and daub house.
Yeah.
This is a wattle and daub house.
Sounds like a duck. Sorry.
I'm
distracting you. Go ahead. Continue.
Now, wattle and daub basically is you've got the thatch roof up here, of course.
Yeah, that's cool.
But when they refer to wattle and daub, they're talking about how it's made up here, and the wattle and daub is actually under the clapboards.
Oh.
Let's look in here. I don't know if you can read this, but basically what they do. This is interesting.
Cool.
They would take a combination of mud.
Yep.
Cow dung and straw and mix it together.
Wait. What's cow dung?
Cow poop.
Okay, thank
You don't know what cow dung is.
I do now.
And here you see, this is what it looks like. A mixture of this, and they'd mix it up and they would fill the lattice here.
Cool.
And this would harden and create somewhat of an insulation, and then they'd plaster over that. And this is the type of house that the Pilgrims lived in too. Mm-hmm. And if you look out here, the outside is a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a foundation which is kind of rare, because a lot of the times, you see the stones down here? A lot of the times what they do is just sink 4 poles in the ground and build a house frame on it. Now these shelters were never meant to be permanent. That's why you don't see houses like this around here anymore. They were just temporary shelters, and then eventually they were replaced by what you call the colonial homes that you see all over the place. So it's kind of interesting that they have this up here. What do you think about that?
It's a little small, but I'd manage. Oh, Christopher, what is this place?
Well, we're still in Pemaquid. Just off the Pemaquid village is this here. This is really, over here is a 1908 recreation of Fort William Henry, which stood here. You can see the original enclosure. And before there was a Fort Charles. It was a wooden palisade fort. This fort, William Henry, was attacked in 1696 by the Wabanakis and the French, a lot like Portland. Very similar to the Portland story in that there was a siege, and again the English ran out of ammunition and they had to surrender. But in this case, they surrendered. They were given quarter. Some were given free pass. Some were taken prisoner for a short time. But there was no mass murder like happened in Portland.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And that's the way it should be. When you give quarter, that's a promise that you're not going to kill people. But the French went against that down in Portland.
So that's pretty cool.
Again,
That's
this
interesting.
is Fort William Henry.
Fort William Henry. And I'm guessing that's where the cannon was.
Probably.
Yeah.